Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 10 of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. Now, as always, before we get on to this week's predictions, let's have a brief look back at last week and week 9.
So last week was an absolute disaster for me. I only had 4 points with no perfect results.
Yeah, I didn't fare too much better myself. I had 8 points, but I did have 2 perfect scores, that being the Aston Villa victory over Brighton, which finished 2-1, and the Leicester City victory over Burnley, which also finished 2-1. Representing the viewers last week was Tiji Mamem Varghese, I think that's how you pronounce it, and they come away with 5 points. So viewers, you need to pull your fingers out a little bit there.
Yeah.
So overall now, Nathan, you are on 66 points. I'm on 67 points, and the viewers are on 59 points. So I've just crept ahead of you again, whereas last week you were ahead of me. Top scorer of the week, however, was LFC96 YNWA, and he or she came away with 11 points. So congratulations, LFC96. This week I'm not going to go through in detail the Fantasy Football League. What I'm going to do is just leave the picture of the top 10 places at the end of this video, because I really want to get stuck into these predictions for week 10. So without further ado, let's get stuck in.
Okay, so first up, we actually have a game on Friday this week, and that is between Southampton and Leicester. Now, Leicester, they had a 2-1 victory over Burnley last time. I thought they played really well, but could have kept a clean sheet, really, whereas Southampton drew with Wolves, which isn't a bad result, really, especially with the calibre of Wolves. But then again, Wolves Wolves have been a bit iffy this season. But with how well Leicester are doing this season, I can only see it being a Leicester away win, and I think it's going to be 2-0 with Leicester keeping a clean sheet at the back.
Yeah, last week Southampton went away to Wolverhampton Wanderers, gained that one draw after, I think it was 3 defeats on the trot. So they're going to be confident back at home at St Mary's. Yeah, their fans going to be winning them on, but they're coming up against the Leicester City side. Brenda's got them playing really well, in third position at the moment. I think Southampton will score in this one, but I think Leicester will become victorious in this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to the Foxes. Next up, we've got the 12:30 kickoff. First of Saturday's fixtures, and that's between Manchester City against Aston Villa. Now, Manchester City played last night they came back from 1-0 down against Atlanta to come out 5-1 victors. I think Sterling was magnificent in that game.
3 goals to assist, apparently.
Superb. Last week, Aston Villa narrowly winning in the closing state. I think it was injury time they scored their winner against Brighton. So Aston Villa are going to be full of confidence. They find themselves now in 12th position, which is great for a promoted team at this stage of the season. But going up against Manchester City, different gravy. It's going to be very difficult for them. Manchester City can't, at this stage as well, can't afford to drop any points if they're going to be retaining their title this season, especially with Liverpool slipping up slightly last weekend. So I can only see a Manchester City victory in this one, and I'm going to go for a 4-1 win in this one. Jack Grealish is finding some form, so maybe he'll pop up with another goal or another assist. So yeah, 4-1 to me for the Citizens.
Interesting. Well, Man City are playing well. Maybe their defence is a little bit leaky with them having to play midfielders at the back at the moment. I actually think they're going to keep a clean sheet in this game. I can't see Aston Villa being able to score against Man City at the Etihad, to be honest, and I can actually see it. Well, I think they'll be defensively alright, but I think it'll be a 3-0 victory to the Citizens here.
Okay, well, if you look at Aston Villa, of course, they've scored 15 goals in their 9 fixtures this season. And from 10th downwards, they're the top scorers as well. So, that's why I've gone for a goal for Villa in this fixture.
Exactly. Moving on to the 3 o'clocks then. First up, we got Brighton versus Everton. Now, Everton surprising everyone getting a 2-0 victory over West Ham last week. Everyone thought it would have been curtains for Marco Silva there, but they seem to be pulling it round. Whereas Brighton lost again last time around to Aston Villa, of course, who we just mentioned a couple of minutes ago. But Yeah, I can see this one being stalemates with the 16th versus 15th there. Both teams in dodgy form. Maybe you could say Everton could pick it back up now and Brighton is starting to go downhill, but yeah, 1-1 I reckon.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline in this match. I think Trossard may be back for this fixture, so that's going to boost the Seagulls there down on the south coast. Everton last week gaining a bit of confidence, possibly saving the manager's job there as well with that 2-0 victory. Brighton, I feel, have been very unlucky in the past few weeks. They did get that fine 3-0 victory over Spurs though 2 game weeks ago, but apart from that, Chelsea before that quite unlucky, even though they did lose 2-0, and last weekend they suffered that knife to the heart, you could say, right in the dying moments of that game against the Villains. So in this fixture, I think Brighton, they're going to keep the scores down, and I'm going to go, as we said, 1-1. Next up, we got Watford against Bournemouth. Now, Watford slightly turning the corner, gaining 2 draws in their last 2 fixtures. I think last week it was a draw against Tottenham. It was at the new White Hart Lane, or the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So I think they will score in this fixture. It is at home. Bournemouth, though, last weekend they secured their first clean sheet of the season. However, it was up against Norwich, who also gained their first clean sheet of the season. So a little bit weird that Bournemouth didn't score in that fixture. So I think they're going to bounce back in this one, even though Watford are kind of turning the corner ever so slightly. But I'm going to go for a Cherries win, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But I do think that Bournemouth will be defensively stronger this week, mainly because I just can't see... I can't see Watford getting goals because I think they've got the highest fail to score percentage in the league. I don't think they've scored in over half their matches.
Correct,
so
yes.
I think those issues are going to continue here, and I can see Bournemouth running away 2-0 winners.
Yeah, of course. Watford have only scored 5 goals in those 9 fixtures as well.
So clean sheet for Bournemouth, I reckon, this week. Moving on to the last 3 o'clock of the week, we've got West Ham versus Sheffield United. Now, Sheffield United getting that brilliant win over Arsenal on Monday night.
Yeah, Arsenal terrible, I thought. So.
Yeah, nobody really expected that. Musa, of course, popping up with that goal in the middle of the match, and Pepe missing some absolute sitters.
He did, right in front of the goal, and missed that one.
Right in front of the goal, but Arsenal fans really happy with his performance, though, even though, yes, he did miss a few, but he was still one of the best players on the pitch. West Ham, of course, losing 2-0 to Everton. Their form is starting to dip a bit. They haven't won in their last 4 matches, and they've lost their last 2. So
slipping down to 11th.
They are, but so they're way below Sheffield United there. So I can see this one being a stalemate actually. I think it'll be 1-1.
Well, they're actually on the same points. They're both on 12 points. So, it's going to be a very, very tight affair at the London Stadium. I don't think Sheffield United have actually lost on the road this season. So, I think they've gained a couple of victories and a couple of draws. Correct me if I'm wrong there, viewers. But, I think this one's going to end in stalemate as well. I think there'll be a goal or 2. But, 1-1. At the London Stadium for this one. Next up, we've got Burnley against Chelsea. This is the tea time kickoff up at Turf Moor. Chelsea currently playing as we speak away against Ajax. It is 0-0 as at time of recording. We'll see what happens at the end of that match. But I think with the travelling that Chelsea are doing okay, they don't play until Saturday evening. Burnley always a tough place to go. So I think Chelsea have been playing really well of late. I think they've won their last 3 matches. Yeah, they've won their last 3 matches. They've also won 4 of their last 5. So I can't see Burnley winning this one. So I'm going to go for another draw in this one, and I'm going to go all square 1-1.
I've gone exactly the same as you again.
Wow.
No, actually, no, I disagree with you there slightly. I think Chelsea, just with their squad depth, I think they can go up to Turf Moor and get a result of some sorts. Burnley, of course, losing last time out to Leicester, and mind that was away, but I still think their confidence will be slightly low, and I think Chelsea will narrowly get a 2-1 victory, probably in the last minute, where they'll probably bring Abraham or something, and then he'll score in like the 92nd minute or something ridiculous.
Because I expect Abraham will start. I think he started this evening anyway.
Yeah, so. I think he has as well, but need to check that up. Moving on to the Sunday fixtures. First up, we've got Newcastle versus Wolves. Now, Wolves obviously drawing with Southampton last time around. They could have very well won that match, but they could have very well lost it at the same time. Newcastle, 18th position, things really not going well for them at the moment. Of course, lost 1-0 to Chelsea, could have been more, but they did well to keep it at 1-0, I thought. But with Newcastle's form, I think they've only won once in their last 6 matches. I can actually see Wolves going up to St James's Park and getting that 2-1 victory. Adama Traore will probably be on fire again with Jimenez goal maybe as well. So
okay, I'm going to go the complete opposite of you there, Nathan. I think Newcastle are going to win this fixture. Yes, I do. I think Wolves, okay, they won their last couple of matches, and then was it last weekend they drew against Southampton at home. I think Newcastle are very tough nut to crack. I know they went away to Chelsea last week and it was only 1-0. Chelsea had a lot of chances. They just couldn't put the ball away. But I've got a feeling that Newcastle, this is going to be one of the matches that Newcastle are going to gain 3 points at. And I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory to Newcastle in this one to keep the Magpie fans happy. Next up, we've got the first of the 5:30 kickoffs on Sunday, and that's between Arsenal against Crystal Palace. Now, Arsenal really below par on Monday evening against Sheffield United, even though it was away, and we know notoriously that Arsenal aren't the best away, but they are at home, excellent at home on times. They got that leaky defence, David Luiz and who else plays there? It's like Mustafi. Yeah, awful. We know it's got a bit of a calendar at the back there, so I can see Crystal Palace scoring. However, at home, Gunners, different gravy. I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to Arsenal.
Yeah, I've actually gone 1-0 with Arsenal keeping a clean sheet, actually. But I think Aubameyang, Lacazette and Nicolas Pepe are going to actually turn up at home, along with Granit Xhaka, with the likes of Granit Xhaka in the midfield as well. I can see them turning up instead of vanishing up in Sheffield the other night, and I can actually see it being a narrow 1-0 victory to the Gunners. Yeah, with them keeping a rare clean sheet. Yeah,
I was thinking that because Palace are a very well organised side, but I just got this feeling that Unai Emery is going to have them. Emery is going to choo-choo. Yeah, that was in his interview. I can see them get him into his team this week, and I think they're going to be victorious anyway.
Next up, we have Liverpool versus Tottenham in the other 5:30 kickoff. Now, Liverpool getting a surprise draw, really. Many people didn't expect against Man City. In a way, Man United, I should say. God, they're so irrelevant. I keep forgetting who they are. In a way, Liverpool were robbed there. The referee in VAR is awful. They should just get rid of it, honestly.
Well, VAR has had a hand in a lot of games from last week. We could have a whole rant video just on VAR from week 9.
We need to do that next international break. It's absolutely pathetic in this league. I know it's got banging on about how it needs to be introduced last year, but honestly, who thought of half the rules when they bought it in? It's the Prem just don't have a brain about VAR at all. They need to really rethink it for next season. But anyway, Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp is going to want them fired up, and they're going to want to absolutely slaughter Tottenham, even though they did win about 5-0 last night.
It was 5-0 beating Red Star Belgrade.
Yeah, but that's Red Star Belgrade, and with some of Tottenham's problems they've had recently, I think Liverpool are going to run away with this one, and I think it's going to be a 3-0 victory to the Reds.
Yeah, Tottenham winning last night. Liverpool in action this evening as well. I think they're away to Genk, from Belgium. So one less a day to prepare, but that shouldn't really affect Liverpool with the players they've got there. But I think this is going to be looking at Liverpool's results of late. They've only been winning games narrowly. Okay, they drew last week against the Red Devils at Old Trafford, but I think Tottenham away at Anfield, I think they'll sneak a goal, but Liverpool aren't firing at the moment on all cylinders. Not scoring hatful, so I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 victory to the Reds, and I would not be surprised if this ends in a draw, but I think Liverpool will just sneak it just because of Tottenham's poor away record at the moment. The last fixture of the weekend is again at 5:30 on Sunday afternoon, and that's between Norwich and Manchester United. Now, there hasn't actually been a draw in this match since 1993, and I think Norwich's last victory in this was it 2016 or
2015 when they were last in the Premier League.
So, you know, it's not years and years since Norwich have beaten Manchester United, but I think Manchester United is going to gain a lot of confidence with that point that they gained at home against Liverpool, but like Tottenham, they've got an absolutely horrendous record on the road at the moment, so I can't see them losing against Norwich, but I can't see them beating them either, so I'm going to sit on the fence with this one, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think the Canaries, terrible at the moment. They did get their first clean sheet last weekend.
Party over,
definitely against Bournemouth, but yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this one.
Well, personally, I think the Pookie Party is going to be back on for 1 week only, one night only indeed. Man United, awful, 1 win in the last 6 matches, very lucky to get anything against Liverpool last week. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, awful manager in the Premier League, as I keep saying all the time. Pogba, of course, I think he's probably still be out, so that he adds more blows to them, and they don't really have a striker that they can rely on up front. Well, an out-and-out striker, you can't really say Marcus Rashford's a striker.
I think Martial's came on or played a part last week.
There you go, I wouldn't say he's a striker either, really.
Winger.
Yeah, winger at best. Well, Rashford, James and Martial, all wingers. Where's your out-and-out striker, Man United fans? Put it in the comments, guys. And yeah, I can actually see Norwich, first time since 2015, getting a victory at home against Man City. They did it against Man United. They did it against Man City, so I think they're going to do it against the other Manchester club as well. So I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory to the Canaries in this one.
Okay, brave call on that one then, Nathan. So that concludes our predictions for week 10 of this, the 2019-2020 Premier League season.
Yeah.
As always, I'm going to leave a template of the fixtures in the description, and all you need to do is copy and paste them into your comment, and like LFC96YNWA, you could get, or top scorer can get a shout out in the next video. Now, there is a game on Friday evening between Southampton and Leicester, which we've already predicted, of course, so I'm going to be picking somebody at random, probably just before that match or maybe on Friday morning, to represent the viewers. Currently, they're flagging behind with 59 points. As we said, you got 66 and I got 67, so we'll see what happens with this game week. But Nathan, before we go, is there anything you'd like to add?
South Wales derby this weekend.
Yeah, very much looking forward to it. We haven't got tickets, but I think it's probably a 4-hour journey just for a 25-mile road trip anyway, so yeah, I can't be doing with that, even though we couldn't get tickets because we haven't been to enough away matches this season.
I mean, we can't even get tickets to West Brom, so how on earth are we going to get them to Swansea?
No. So will you be live streaming this weekend?
Unfortunately not, and that is because the video will probably get demonetised and taken down with some of the reactions if Cardiff lose.
Okay, excellent. So then, guys, thanks for watching as always. Thanks for viewing, thanks for commenting. It's been phenomenal recently, and every single comment is appreciated. But for now,
we'll bid you farewell,
and we'll see you in the next video.
Cheers, guys.
That's cheese.
That is cheese.